Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. It is an iconic American company created by titans of U.S. industry, names like J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, more than 122 years ago. U.S. Steel founded the city of Gary in 1906 when it placed Gary Works on the shores of Lake Michigan, creating what would become the nation's largest steel mill, employing more than 30,000 workers in the early 70s. But news that U.S. Steel is considering a sale has sent shockwaves through Northwest Indiana, the heart and soul of the state's steel industry, which continues to be the largest in the nation. Joining me now with the latest is veteran reporter Joseph S. Pete, who covers the steel industry for the Times of Northwest Indiana. Joseph, thanks for joining us. We were talking off camera a moment ago about the vibe, the kind of the reaction in Northwest Indiana, and you say it's really one of shock.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone's just shocked. This came out of nowhere. There was no anticipation. U.S. Steel just had two of its most profitable quarters in its entire 122-year history. Last year, the company's been doing relatively well. It had a $500 million profit roughly in the second quarter. The steel market's been pretty strong and robust. You know, the stock isn't depressed. The company isn't struggling. It just kind of came out of nowhere. In a sense, it could be in retrospect, it could be kind of anticipated because Cleveland Cliffs has been trying to really consolidate the vertically integrated steel industry. They weren't even making steel 3 years ago. They were an iron ore producer, but they bought up ArcelorMittal USA and AK Steel, and they're looking to kind of further consolidate the industry and have more kind of leverage, especially over automakers and the prices that automakers will pay for hot rolled steel.
Give us, and this is an evolving situation. We're taping this show earlier in the week, so things can change. But Cleveland Cliffs had made an offer, S-Mark, privately held company, an all-cash offer. Where do you see this going? Could this be a bidding war of sorts?
Oh, potentially. Cleveland Cliffs is definitely the best capitalized. Reuters is also reporting that ArcelorMittal is talking to its investment bankers and weighing a potential bid. S-Mark is a smaller privately held firm. They have purchased an integrated steel maker before, but they're supposed to have around $500 million in cash, which is roughly, just the profit that U.S. Steel had. Cleveland Cliffs is a much bigger and more capitalized company. It's hard to see where it's going to go. Cleveland Cliffs was offering a 43% premium on U.S. Steel's current stock price. So U.S. Steel kind of has a fiduciary responsibility to stockholders to kind of explore alternatives and see what it can get. But they seem to, by announcing out of the blue, they're exploring strategic alternatives. They really seem to be putting themselves on the market and trying to get the best bid they potentially could.
Yeah, Joseph, give folks from around the state an idea of the significance that U.S. Steel has in the industry. It's the part of the heart and soul of Northwest Indiana, to be sure. It has far fewer employees than it once did, but it's still very much a major employer in the region.
Oh, absolutely. It's a bedrock institution in the region. It's really woven into the cultural fabric. It's brought immigrants here from all over the world. Generations of people have worked there. It's really supported middle-class lifestyles all throughout the region. It's really integrated into the economy beyond just the people who directly work at the mills. You have the service centers that process the steel it makes. You have the distribution companies and the railroads that bring the steel it makes to markets. The skilled trades, a lot of their work is done at the steel mills, big summer maintenance projects, working on blast furnaces and so forth. You have major companies here, suppliers to it, Praxair, Carmouche Lime. It really is woven, its tendrils are woven throughout the entire economy in Northwest Indiana. It's kind of, steel making is central to our identity here. It's kind of synonymous with steel making and the manufacturing. It was once making literally 2/3 of the world's steel. It's so part of the establishment. It was like, mentioned in The Godfather, or bigger than U.S. Steel. It seemed like an ironclad institution, and something like this would be just completely unfathomable. People are just completely caught unawares.
Hey, Joseph, we only have about 30 seconds. I know it's anybody's guess as to what's next, but what can we expect, do you think, here in the week ahead?
It's very difficult to say. Cleveland Cliffs' attempted acquisition is really driving this. That could potentially run into some antitrust concerns because they would end up as the largest. They would end up as the only vertically integrated steel maker left standing, supplying automakers, appliance makers, other manufacturers. They would also control about 100% of the iron ore. It remains to be seen whether the feds would go for that. It's hard to. U.S. Steel seems to be kind of putting themselves on the market to see what other buyers might have to offer. It's hard to say if some of the assets will be divvied up, the company will be sold to new ownership.
Yep.
Really, what will happen? The union is trying to reassure their members. They have very strong successorship language that will keep the jobs in place for at least for the duration of the next few years, for the duration of the
All
contract.
right.
Keep the pay benefits and so forth.
Joseph S. Pete, it was a great job of covering the steel industry for the Times of Northwest Indiana. Joseph, appreciate it. We'll be back in touch as we follow the story.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.